Today we're going to jump into activities and things to do in San Antonio and the San Antonio area, either if you're visiting here or moving here, or you even have, family coming in town, you need to know where to take them. So starting off, let's look kind of really local. Of course, we're a tourist town. We've got to talk about the Alamo. We've got to talk about the Riverwalk. That's kind of a staple.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a staple. It's been a minute since I've been to the Alamo, but we actually go down to the Riverwalk every once in a while. There's some good restaurants in and around that area, and I love it during Christmas time with all the beautiful lights that they have coming down the trees. It's pretty cool.
And then you have the King William District where you can walk around there.
Love the King William District. That is a really, really cool area.
And there's some art places to go down there. So it's a really kind of a funky vibe.
Right.
But that kind of takes you to like the Pearl. The Pearl District is another fun place to go. They have great restaurants. They have a farmer's market.
Right. And that really has become an attraction for San Antonio. I mean, if nothing else, just to see what it is now. It was a former brewery years ago, the Pearl Brewery, and it has turned into a dining mecca with the CIA, the Culinary Institute of Arts, and then Hotel Emma, which is like, what is it ranked? It's like
it's a diamond hotel.
Black Diamond, something like that.
There's only two in Texas, and one's in Dallas, and that's
insane place. It is really, really pretty. So, all right, what's some other stuff?
Well, and then to piggyback or continue on the Pearl District, when we went down there for the farmers market, now it's been fun because they added a splash pad, and it's become a place where people just hang out.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just sitting there, just hanging out, whether they're residents or living in the surrounding areas, or just want to chill out for the day, and it's pet friendly, so you can bring your dogs.
And just to also piggyback on that has literally led to all of the gentrification that's going on downtown. This massive resurgence of like people wanting to be in that area.
Yes, so. And then Southtown is also kind of trying to duplicate that, and I know that there's some things in the works right now, but what's really cool about Southtown is you can go down there, have a nice bite to eat, jump on your bikes, and go down and travel and just check out the missions. So there's a really cool bike trail down there.
Right.
I remember we did that one time. It was really fun.
We got lost. We got lost in one of the missions. So San Antonio has spent a ton of money on bike trails that literally go from the north side all the way down to the south side, and it's probably well over 150 miles of nice paved trails that are very aesthetically pleasing, with lots of things to look at and whatnot. So that's super cool.
It is really, really cool. And they're starting one now between Austin and San Antonio. Wow. So that's going to be a big deal.
I won't be doing that one.
So let's talk about theme parks. Everybody loves a good theme park, and it's hard. A lot of people don't know that not only do we have Six Flags, we also have SeaWorld.
Yep.
And then Schlitterbahn, which is actually New Braunfels, is another theme park where kids can go, do water stuff.
Right.
So we have, great theme parks here, and a lot of people that love that. They have season passes if you live here. So it's really great. I know a lot of parents like take their kids there and do the.
For sure. Those are super active, as we can see by the traffic exiting for, Fiesta, Texas?
Yes,
right
there
super
by
popular.
Very popular.
Yep, yeah, definitely.
And then another fun thing, speaking of New Braunfels over there, Garden Ridge, New Braunfels area, is Natural Bridge Caverns, which is a really cool place. And then they have the Wild Animal Park, too, where you can go feed.
That's fun, because when you drive around and you put your windows down, you'll have like an ostrich sticking your head.
Kind of can be scary, and I've had them actually take my bag.
Really?
That was mine, and they're like throwing it around. That
actually is pretty cool. Yeah. I've enjoyed that often when the boys are younger.
All relatively close, which is really kind of fun. But then going to the parks, it's really kind of surreal to think of how many parks we have. I mean, anything from, we have Hardworker Park, the one down by Alamo Heights.
Right.
We have,
we have Frederick.
Eisenhower.
We have Eisenhower.
So depending on your level of, how much you like to hike, or you have all different levels, and they're great. I mean, for
sure. One that I've not gone to too terribly often, and I think it was just because a buddy of mine took me mountain biking there, was Government Park. That place is huge, definitely for the more experienced biker. But there's hiking trails, walking trails. So there's a ton of stuff to do outside in this city. So it's nice to see San Antonio really investing in the area for its residents.
Yeah, and then downtown by Alamo Heights, we have the Museum. So there's actually we have quite a few either arts or museum activities. We have the McNay, the Whitty Museum, which is kind of cool, and we also have the zoo.
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff to do down there. So if you're
You can do the train.
You can do the
I
train.
literally, my grandparents, this is when I lived in Laredo, we would make a weekend trip up to go to the zoo and do the little train and everything else. So it's like some of my best memories as a kid was going to the zoo here in San Antonio. And they've actually added a ton to it. And I read an article the other day that they're putting like another $50 or $60 million in improvements to it. So yeah, it's pretty cool that they're doing that.
And they also have the Japanese tea garden,
That's
which
pretty
is
cool.
really kind of cool
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
you can really go down there and just walk around and even bring your lunch and just kind of get lost in the day. And again, it's most of these places are pet friendly. So
Definitely.
double check on that, make sure, but most of them are.
I love it.
So now that's kind of covers most of San Antonio. I mean, we could consider food a sport, so there's a lot of great restaurants. That'll be another video. But let's just talk about what's right outside of San Antonio. You know, you think about New Braunfels, and they have a river there called the Guadalupe River, and they have the Comal River and Landa
Right.
Park. So that's a great day place to go, walk around, have lunch.
Right.
If you like to go tubing, you can go tube down the river. So that's really fun. But then even going like a little bit further, kind of northwest, we have Blanco
Okay.
and we have Fredericksburg, which is a huge attraction.
Right, yeah.
Talk about that for a little bit.
Fredericksburg is a lot of fun. We go up there often. I love going there during the holidays, you know,
Yeah.
seeing all the Christmas lights. I mean, they definitely make it look like a wonderland.
Yes.
But, I mean, there's some great restaurants that we like to go to, and we'll just putz around the main street. There's lots of shopping.
And the wineries.
the
And
wineries.
That's what's so fun is
Yeah.
actually some of this Texas wine is really,
Yeah.
really good. And you can actually get, do they call it a subscription or?
Yeah, subscription.
You
Membership
can,
kind of
membership
thing.
where you
Yeah.
can go and drink your wine and you can actually get on a list and order the wine and they can ship it to you. So it's
Right.
really kind of cool.
It's
and
turned into a big draw over there for sure.
It is a big draw.
Yeah.
But one thing people don't know about is is it Nimitz Museum?
Yes, yeah, the museum. It's the Admiral Nimitz's hometown, basically, and they created like a world-class museum.
So
And it's
cool.
huge. The
It
last
really
time we
is.
went through it, I think, it took us almost 4 hours.
Yeah, it was really
Insane to think that there is such a beautifully done museum in the small town of Fredericksburg, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, kudos to them for putting that together. That's super impressive.
And if you want to go a little bit towards Austin, but not Fredericksburg area, hill country, you have Enchanted Rock.
Oh, that's
which
fun.
is a really cool place to go hiking up.
Yeah.
And it's pretty steep, but it's,
Definitely.
and it's a workout, but it's really great. You can get up there, and the view is incredible.
The views are magnificent from that
But just
vantage
make
point.
sure you get there early because
Yes.
it is hard to get into.
Yeah, they shut it down pretty quick.
Pretty quick, yeah. And so that's fun. And then there's also great restaurants around there
Mm-hmm.
too, so you can eat and you don't feel guilty because you just climbed that massive rock. So, and then going from there, you think about those lake people. We have lake people in our life.
We have lots of lake people in our
A
life.
lot of people enjoy going to
LBJ.
Lake LBJ, yeah.
Yeah. What's the Horseshoe Bay?
Horseshoe Bay.
Horseshoe Bay is a big destination. You know, there's a private club there, but if you're staying on some of the properties, it'll allow you access to it, and they have like a little beach entry thing and whatnot. But yeah, it's like a big draw, and some of the homes in that area are
Ridiculous,
wow,
yeah.
like right out of a movie or something like that. So
Yeah, and a lot of our friends just like to hang out on their boat and, you know, drink and have fun, and
there you go.
it works.
Hey,
So-
it's a way to unwind.
Yes, and it's not too far. It's a
Right.
good hour away, maybe
Yeah.
a little bit more. Yeah. And
Love
so
it.
then we go, okay, well, a lot of another. We're trying to get more into this, but we have a lot of friends that like to go down to Fort A, Corpus Christi area. Fort A is kind of, you know, I always think it's a Texas beach, and I'm from California, so when I first went, I was sorely disappointed.
Didn't look the same.
I was like, this is like a hot, disgusting bath, not a beach. And it was very industrial looking to me.
Yeah.
However, you get the culture. There's such a culture
There
down
is.
there.
There is.
That it just starts, you buy into it
Yeah.
eventually. They have great little restaurants.
Yep.
They have places to go karaoke. There's always something to do down there. A lot of those restaurants are family owned.
Right.
And so it's just, you feel like you're part of the little town.
Yeah, it's definitely a vibe, and I know a lot of stuff has been redone, you know, recently
Since
within the
then,
last,
yeah.
you know, a few years, just because of the big storm that they had. So it's still a very popular destination, and it's not too terribly far from here. What, 2.5 hours,
Yeah,
maybe
2.5
at best?
hours.
Yeah.
And the fun part about that too is they have that sandcastle
Oh,
competition.
yes. Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, I mean, I know the kids love to go down there and see that. But and when you get down there, I mean, most people just like, they park on the beach. And, you know, when you go to California beaches, you're kind of private. You want to be to yourself. You might be surfing. You might be just tanning. But it's kind of private. You go there, and you're part of, it's like its own community.
It's a party.
It's like everybody puts their tents up next to each other. They're all playing, you know, games and listening to music. And it's like you just walk around, everybody come over, have a drink, sit down. Great place to meet people. It's really engaging, and so many of those people down there end up becoming lifelong friends.
That's
it's just like a destination.
That's a cool place to go.
Yeah. And then another place, you know, we have to consider where we are. We're very close to the airport, which can get us to Mexico. So we like those beaches.
We love those beaches a lot.
You know, when you think about South Padre Island, it takes 5 hours to get there. Now, it's beautiful. It's definitely much, I mean, for a Texas beach, it's gorgeous. And there's a lot of fun things to do down there, but it's a 5-hour drive, and it's a long, boring drive.
And you can just take like a 2 to 2.5 hour flight and be in Mexico. With amazing blue water.
Beaches.
Tacos.
Great hotels. Service galore. So, you know, it really is. I mean, even though our airport still needs some work and we have to connect everywhere, but it's still an easy trip to get to Mexico from here. So there's just a lot to do. And then I'm going to go, one of our favorite places to go is Houston. It's 3 hours. I mean, and then you get Buc-ee's on the way. You know, you go up I-10.
Have to stop at Buc-ee's.
You know, you got to stop at Buc-ee's. You get to Houston, and then you get to enjoy all their food and their culture. And so, I mean, San Antonio is a really cool place because of its location. People don't think about that because we're so far south, but really we are close to doing just a lot of stuff.
It's a great location. I love it. Those are all great ideas of things to do if you're here.
And on any budget.
Definitely.
I mean, you really don't have to have, you can just drive and...
A lot of the stuff we mentioned is actually free.
Yeah, it is. It is free. So anyways, we hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for the next one.